I asked ChatGPT to write 4 songs all with the same setup in the styles of various famous musical theater writing teams: Rodgers and Hammerstein, Kander Ebb, Sondheim, and Pasek Paul. Here was the very interesting result. There's been a lot of talk recently about how artificial intelligence is coming for all of us and our jobs, especially since the release of the open source ChatGPT in late 2022. But here's a little secret. Artificial intelligence cannot think and feel the same way that we humans do, so they can't really create art in the same way that we humans do. At least not yet. Now, the main counter-argument I've heard to this as I talk with people in the tech industry who are super excited about artificial intelligence is that there's nothing new under the sun anyway, and so humans are already taking what exists and retooling it to create their art, and that's the same thing that the artificial intelligence is doing. A scary thought that that's the way that we work and also the way that they work. So I decided to see about how far along we seem to be in this regard by starting with the idea of mimicry, the same place that all human creatives also tend to start. I wanted to know if this AI tool could take all of its accessible various resources and write 4 songs to the same song prompt, but in the various styles of musical theater writers and writing teams of note. Can AI mimic lyrical style? Prompt that I gave to ChatGPT was to write me the lyrics to a musical theater 32-bar chorus song where the male character is happy about having ended the relationship with his partner of 5 years, all in the style of a blank song. Vague enough to allow for different possibilities in terms of tone, theme, and word choice, but specific enough that there should be a decent number of similarities between these songs. Or so I thought. I do want to just start off by saying that the AI doesn't seem to understand the concept of a 32-bar musical theater chorus song because it gave me a pop verse chorus style song every single time I gave it the prompt. Doesn't seem like there's enough information out there for ChatGPT to have consumed for it to know about the 32-bar chorus song. And although ChatGPT can't learn about musical theater song forms by taking my flagship musical theater writing workshop course, you can! Check it out at the link below if you're interested in learning the 5 pillars of musical theater writing. The first writing team I started with was Rodgers and Hammerstein. So to compare all these, we will look at a verse, the chorus, and the bridge. Here's what it came up with for Rodgers and Hammerstein. I thought love was forever, but now I see it's not. I'm free from all the pain, and the tears have all been stopped. I'm finally free to fly, no more headache, no more sighs. I'm breaking out of my shell, and nothing can bring me down. I'm starting a new chapter, leaving the past behind. I'll find my way to happiness and love of a different kind. I find it very interesting that there's only one perfect rhyme in this entire thing, and it's only in the bridge section. I'm not sure if that's a read on Oscar Hammerstein's lyric writing or if that's just a fault of the AI, but it's interesting nonetheless. Otherwise, I think it did a pretty nice job of capturing that light, surface level tone of Rodgers and Hammerstein's music. There are images of nature and anatomy, which they use quite often, as well as a general happiness versus sadness, all in connection with love. Pretty Rodgers and Hammerstein. Not a great song lyric, but it did capture a bit of the style. Okay, let's see how this song differs when being filtered through the stylings of Kander and Ebb instead. I thought it was forever, but now it's come undone. I'm cutting all the ties and I'm having so much fun. I'm finally free to play, no more tears, no more dismay. I'm taking back my life and nothing's gonna bring me down. I'm starting a new chapter, leaving the past behind. I'll find my way to happiness and love of a different kind. Super interesting changes in the language here. You can see that the general structure of the song is going to remain the same across the 4 prompts, but there's a definite difference here in the word choice and the lyric structure. We get some darker images than the Rodgers and Hammerstein song with things like cutting all ties and dismay. The rhymes here are all perfect rhymes. There's a hint of sarcasm in the line, and I'm having so much fun, which seems appropriate to Kander and Ebb. And also there's a grandiosity to the lyrical ideas here, with things like forever, and finally free, and taking back my life, and leaving the past behind. In terms of ways that Kander and Ebb differ from Rodgers and Hammerstein, I'd say it's pretty spot on, and it's a better lyric than the first one. Okay, the one that I'm sure we're all waiting for. Can the AI even touch a fraction of the lyric master himself, Stephen Sondheim. I thought I'd be alone, but now I see the light. I'm dancing through the streets and everything's just right. I'm finally free to think, no more lies, no more drink. I'm taking back my mind and nothing's going to bring me down. I'm breaking all the chains that kept me in the past. I'm gonna live my life my way and make it truly last. Interesting, eh? To begin with, this is the first time that we've had matching lyrical scansion across the 4 lines of the verse in addition to perfect rhymes. I thought I'd be alone, but now I see the light. I'm dancing through the streets and everything's just right. That imagery isn't very Sondheim, though. Chorus has some interesting nuggets in it, too. Stephen Sondheim was known for being pretty heady, both as a writer and in his lyrics themselves. And we get these lines about free to think and taking back my mind. We also get the first mention of drink, and Stephen Sondheim did often put alcohol in his lyrics. And again, we have this mention of leaving the past behind, something that also comes up in a lot of Sondheim shows. Definitely not close to the nuance of Stephen Sondheim, but the AI did pick up on some themes that seem to be pretty prevalent in his writing. And finally, let's take a look at how the AI handled a Pasek and Paul song. I thought it was forever, but now I see it's not. I'm free from all the pain, and the tears have all been stopped. I'm finally free to fly, no more heartache, no more sighs. I'm breaking out of my shell, and nothing can bring me down. I'm starting a new chapter, leaving the past behind. I'll find my way to happiness and love of a different kind. This sounds super familiar, doesn't it? In fact, the only difference between this lyric and the Rodgers and Hammerstein lyric is in the first line, instead of the word love, they replaced it with the word it. Now, in all honesty, I actually could not get the AI to finish a lyric in the style of Pasek and Paul. It tried a couple of times and came back with errors every time, and I did keep talking to the AI, so it doesn't seem to have been a fault in the AI itself, but it wasn't able to write a Pasek and Paul song. I'm not entirely sure what this means for P&P, but the AI definitely could not find a way to capture their voice, and instead defaulted back to what it had written originally as that more classic example from Rodgers and Hammerstein. Okay, so what does all of this mean? Well, I think we can safely say that musical theater will remain staunchly in the hands of humans for the time being, as it should. Musical theater is all about the emotional experience of human beings, and AI just simply cannot understand that. Yet. But beyond that, ChatGPT couldn't even discern the difference between a pop verse chorus structure and a 32-bar musical theater structure, which is very fundamental to the art form. And if you're not sure what a 32-bar chorus is or how to write one, then you should watch this video next. Otherwise,
thank you all for being here with me today, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers!